For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level.
Welcome back to your lofty program on ITV TMI. This morning, we shall dwell on the factor that gives us the governance, that gives us the government, gives us our democracy, and keeps us living. In other words, we're talking about the basics, the infrastructure of governance. And with me in the studio this morning is my co-anchor, Charity Katanko, and our guest, my brother, Honorable Kehinde Agbola. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
My brother, we are Nigerians and we should be highly interested in everything that is Nigerian.
Yes, of course.
And one of the factors that drives our democracy is the Constitution.
Yes.
It is the Constitution that drives all the arms of government. If we don't get our Constitution right, the governance will not be right.
God.
And thank God for one simple factor. You are a former legislator. So basically, we are going to hold you to some of the things we are going to discuss today. Honestly, what we want to discuss this morning borders on constitutional review. And we're going to focus on the element of local government autonomy and the element of state policing. Let's start from the angle of local government autonomy. Whatever it is, like I said earlier, whatever it is that is going to happen in Nigeria stems from the National Assembly, because that is what 200 million Nigerians, we synthesized ourselves into 360 of you in the House of Rep and 109 of you in the Senate to go and deliberate and make laws for us, laws that will make lives easier. Now we are talking of focusing on local government autonomy. What is your take? Not just from the idea of Kehinde Agbola. We want it from the idea of Kehinde Agbola, the rep from the National Assembly.
Thank you. Viewers at home, good morning. This is a great privilege. I appreciate the organizers. I am part of those people who strongly believe that there is need for autonomy for the local government. Coincidentally, to the glory of God, I have the privilege of once being elected as a council chairman of a local government area, 2004 to 2007. Ikole local government in Ekiti State. And I'm deeply involved. I know the workings of the Argon. I know the workings of the state. I know the feelings of the people at the grassroots, at the council level. And I left that place, and 8 years later, I found myself in the House of Rep. Coincidentally, again, I was lucky. I was part of the Constitutional Review Committee under the then Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Lasun Yusuf. And I agitated strongly in support of autonomy for the council, for the local government. However, I was able to also identify, and made it open, the challenges against the autonomy for local government.
Okay.
You see, unfortunately, we will always hold National Assembly responsible, but lawmaking is not only done by National Assembly alone.
Are you saying it's not easy to lawmake?
Yes, it's not easy. The processes are much. Before that time, before coming into the National assembly. I was part of those people who felt they're doing nothing.
They are doing nothing over there. They're just sitting there.
What did you see when you got there?
Well, did you rest?
I couldn't. Okay. If you really love your people, you can't rest there. Oh. Because there are many things that you want to put in place. And people thought you just sit down, opportunity will come to you. No, you have to struggle for it. It's not easy. Being one among 360. Different interests, different cultural beliefs, and whatever background.
Shouldn't that make it better? By the time we have 360 ideas, we can now juxtapose those ideas and then form a formidable path.
I agree with you.
And what has been, what are the challenges with the local government autonomy as you
yes,
were
I also mentioned that. Like I identify, one, it's not only the National Assembly that will do it. Oftentimes, we gather National Assembly member, we waste our time. I'm sorry to use word waste, or rather, we put a lot of energy.
I prefer that.
Yes, I want to use that. I withdraw the other one. Running up and down the nation, creating awareness, discussing and others. But we don't go with the State House of Assembly.
And they are
why?
a formidable factor.
They are a formidable factor.
And why is it that? Because?
Well, unconsciously. Anyway, maybe as I'm saying now, maybe they will realize it. The system, the budget at the National Assembly talks about its member. We do our own. Senators do their own. By the time we get to a level we come together, we talk about referendum. At a point, the National Assembly says, let's bring them together. We are going for public hearing. We do it together as a committee. Both the joint committee, Senate and the rep, we go. It's good. So therein, because we are coming, a lot of people come out, they canvass different positions, this and that. When we are in Kano, for example, for Northwest, we hear them out and others. But don't forget, when we are in Kano, the legislator from Lagos are not there. Legislator from Ekiti, State House of Assembly, they are not there.
Okay.
They wouldn't know the reasons why we agree on what we believe.
Didn't you make your reasons public?
See, you can't give reason. What we do is, in our own level, we pass, even our members, when we come back, and the whole process go through, we come to the house so that people can vote on it.
Okay, now...
among the people that are voting, some don't even know the genesis of how you get to where you are.
Okay, for instance, I know for a fact, we know for a fact that when it comes to local government autonomy and constitutional review, like in the 8th Assembly, the National Assembly passed, it should go. Let's just say it's a go. Then what happened after that?
Thank you. After the National Assembly have passed, two-third majority to every clause, if you don't have two-third majority, it fails.
Exactly.
And we have it.
You have the two-third.
We have the two-third.
Yes.
So after we have the two-third and we pass that level, we transmit it to the conference of the State House of Assembly speakers. The speakers now, on their own, oftentimes, we bring the conference, they're always with us. The speakers are always with us. But don't forget that speakers are only one. They are with us when we are doing rapporteuring, discussing and others. But when they get back home, the ideal thing will have been that, okay, as a speaker, you have control over your colleagues. But do you know that the relationship between the State House of Assembly and the state governor is very deep, deeper than the National Assembly?
Okay, like husband and wife kind of relationship.
They are fear in number. You want to survive, you want to make it, you want to go further politically, you must just be very, very loyal, in quote. Even when,
at the detriment of...
Even when the loyalty is killing you, you must.
You are making a point here by telling us categorically that you even have conferences with the speakers of all the state houses of assembly, because they're a factor in whatever you deliberate on. They are part of that factor that makes the equation work out.
Yes.
And again, you're telling us that in as much as you try and inculcate the ideas that you formulated in the National Assembly to the speakers, by the time they get home, something else happens.
Yes.
Because the state governors have a very formidable control over them.
That's the truth.
In a way, the National Assembly has, the National Assembly, you have your say, and the governors have their way.
Let me now throw one thing, because we like saying it as it is. Being factual, being concise is one of the elements of the media. You say this element of local government autonomy. I would like to ask you this. How do you define a local government? What are the parameters of defining a local government? Because when some parties are not happy with what defines a local government, I will not allow for autonomy.
Autonomy.
What were the parameters of creating a local government?
Well, the local government, as it were, had been created by the establishment of the Constitution. Of course, one of our complaints had been that it was generated in a military era.
So it's a military local government.
So that's the first complaint.
Okay.
However, we were told it's on population, landmass, as part of the factors. Unfortunately, right now, another dimension has been introduced, particularly in some, with the party equivalent government. The idea is creating more SCDA that we don't even have a standard about. In fact, the reality is that it's better we make every community SCDA the way it is now. Unfortunately, many can't see beyond that, but it's the corruption underneath. Okay. I have been there. I know.
Okay, why do you see that? Why do you say that?
System, even an LG chairman.
Exactly. So why do you think the creation of these SCDAs, that you call it, is an avenue, is a channel for corruption, not for development?
To me, I felt it is. Because even when they say you can't hold too much people accountable, we are duplicating offices. We are duplicating offices. It's not as good as if we decide to have a regional government now and say we want to have everything we have at center in the west or in all the geopolitical zones. It will be another year entirely.
Let me ask you another question, which is based on our findings because that's our duty to go into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Let me paint you a scenario that happened in 2 states in Nigeria. As at the last census, Lagos State was 9 million people. Kano State was 9 million people. After a while, some states were cut out of Kano State. 2 states to be exact were cut out of Kano State. At the end of the day, nothing was cut out of Lagos State. I'm not holding brief for anybody. I'm not telling you statistics, which are some of the factors that make some of the states' houses of assembly refuse to append their signature to it. At the end of the day, Lagos State ended up with 20 LGs. Kano State ended up with 44. If you base that on the last census of 9 million each, 9 million each, why is that anomaly?
I agree with you, and I thank you for that. And that's one of those things, that's why I said the constitution started from the military.
That's it.
And these are the agitation that we felt people should come up with. And that's why we said, you see, there are 2 views outside there. Some governors felt, so when you talk about true federalism, that councils should be appendage of states. That in true federalism, there will be 2 structures, 2 tiers of government rather.
Okay.
The national, or the federal, and the state. That's the opinion of some. So
There should
they care
be
less
no-
about it.
There-
I don't.
There should
I don't. And I put to any of them, ask any governor who once served at the council level. Bring in Governor Okowa. Bring in Governor Wike. Some of them who have passed through the council before. And ask them their opinion. You will see that it's different.
Okay.
But what does this autonomy portend for local government?
Thank you.
Because there are people out there that don't really understand this. What does it actually mean?
See, the essence of autonomy will have been that, number 1, whatever allocation you have, goes straight to you. That's number 1. Number 2,
Go straight to the
council,
to the local government.
Because the way we share the revenue mobilization is always per local government. That is in the constitution.
That's right.
That's why I know when I was in council, I'll get Tell magazine. There will be Okojo Wela then as Minister for Finance will tell us the breakdown of the income. We have it. Some national dailies may publish it. We have it. I go to Jack with it and check. Is it what came? Yes.
What is that?
Joint
Yes.
action.
So we have that. When we now put that together, they sum their money and we now redistribute at state level. Prioritizing civil servant salary and taking it as first charge. Council staff salary, first charge. Many people are not aware that it's the council that is paying private school teacher, and their money is very bulky. So they take it also first line charge. By the time we finish all those first line charges, we barely have less than 10 million naira left
to run the affairs
of the government. So
you were there because Nigerians are enjoying the factor that you've been through it all.
Yes.
The question now is, are you in favor of autonomy based on the parameters of what we are seeing?
I'm in favor of autonomy.
Based on what?
Yes, based on the fact that it will give room for accountability. You see, the problem we have with leadership, the problem in Nigeria today is about leadership. And most of our leaders are not tested at local level. Sir, it's not easy for you to remove a governor, even if you don't like his face. Resources are not there. You don't have the apparatus. Or you can remove your council chairman. That's why I say divorce man fund for council. You may not even need the federal government. If you go back to all the tiers of government and look at their function and devote more assignment to the local council, then you have mature people come in and performance will matter. The way you perform there will tell where you are going. It will tell where you are going. But now, it's supposed to be a testing ground, it's supposed to be a preparatory ground, it's supposed to be a place where you can be held accountable, where you can be exposed and people can say, oh, truly, this one will be a nice person. But now, check most of the governors. They came from nowhere. Oh, good. One job somewhere, very good. And they come in. How do they manage human being? How do they manage resources? How do they develop the community? They don't know.
Let me put you are going by virtue of figures. By our constitution, the federal government takes 52 and 48 comes down to the states and
local governments.
Basically, the local governments are supposed to take about 25 thereabout. Do you think if that 25% gets to the local government, things will be different?
Of course, it will be different.
How?
It will get better. It will get better.
Okay, are you saying that things are not working on
yes,
well?
It's not getting to them. That's the reality. It's not getting to them. The FCC is there. All of them are there. But let them trace this line of money.
But my question is, how is that even possible that it will not get to them? When we have local government chairmen that can actually ask for this and say...
You have said it all. You said that can... You see, when you talk about autonomy, there are many things that goes into it. Do you know that the council have its own legislative arm? Where you have the councillors?
Exactly.
But the House of Assembly can remove you.
Okay.
The House of Assembly, your house may be with you, the House of Assembly can remove you.
Why is that?
Why is that?
The state law says that you are still responsible to them.
The constitution of the state.
Yes, that's the problem.
That you are answerable
so if
to.
you have autonomy, you will be on your own. You are not responsible to them. Do you know the war we fought for us to have autonomy for the state legislature itself, even for themselves?
But are they really
whether it's even functioning is another thing.
In practice, is there autonomy?
Whether it's even functioning is another thing. You can't tell.
Yeah,
the power is too much. But like I said, if it's somebody who have grown from ground up, even when they give you the power, there's no need holding too much things to your hand. You find a way to shove it and have things moving.
You see, thank you for your insights, but at the same time, your school of thought is a good one. There are some other schools of thoughts out there, a whole lot of them. And like you said, there are a lot of hurdles hampering this element of autonomy. Time is not on our side, but we will want you to educate Nigerians. Tell us your advice from a man who has been through it all. Once a local government chairman, member of the National Assembly. So you've been through it all. What is your word to Nigerians? And what should we expect in the future? Because we believe in work in progress. We are positive thinkers. What should we expect from your own perspective?
Thank you. I believe things will be getting better moving forward. I've said it. I have not really seen it all. I have not been a governor. Maybe.
Oh, and you want to be a governor, right?
By God grace, one day. I'm a politician. I know maybe on that seat, maybe they did see things differently. That's why I started by making references to some people. If I listen to Governor Okowa, having served as council level, having served in the National Assembly, and now as a governor, if he can give us a better template, maybe we can balance it.
Okay. What do you think? One sentence. You as a person, what do you want to tell Nigerians?
I want to tell Nigerians, and I want to plead with our governors. See, you are governors at your level, president is president at that level. Develop people at council level. Let there be autonomy. My governor did it during my tenure. Governor Yodele Peter Fawoshi, he did it. We were allowed to work, and he came around commissioning projects. Even he was happy. And we were also happy that we are doing things. That our children can grow up to see. My father, when he was a council chairman, did this. But people are there now, what can they point at? Unfortunately, when they leave, they hate you more as the governor. Yes, because they will feel pained. What can I show? We think it's loyalty. People are only loyal because they are pretending. They are not happy. That's the reality.
Thank you.
So you are saying there's no loyalty? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I didn't say there's no loyalty. There's compared loyalty.
Okay.
That your son is say, daddy, good morning, sir, daddy. It may not mean it's different from the one that will pardon my daddy. There are different between it. There are certain things that you must say yes, sir, just to have your way. That's the reality. But if you as a governor, you want to leave office and point at 1, 2, 3 things as your achievements. If a president wants to leave office and point at things as achievements, what can the council chairman?
Please, I have to ask this question before we let you go.
Yes.
How do we get past this cosmetic loyalty that you're talking about?
Well, you see, democracy itself will continue to evolve. For example, if I find myself in that position now, because I have the feeling of how followers are, what they are going through, I won't do that. Thank God I said it. I said I served under a governor during my own tenure. And I was very grateful. I was accountable. And my local government can speak about it today. And I'm proud to say it. But sir, if you don't have anything to show for, then what will you say? Will you say that there was no allocation? This internet age, where your children can Google and say, sir, I saw your local government and national, they gave you so millions of naira. And there are many things that council spend money on that people don't know. When I was there, you give me 65 million naira. The road in front of my father's house is bad. People say, how can you be a council chairman? You cannot tar the road. But the 65 million naira, go to when I will tell us, you have this and publish it. That's a good one. When I was a council chairman, I said, the Minister of Finance should go ahead and also publish the constitutional expenditure on that money. Because the money that comes in, by law, say 5% to traditional ruler, 5% to local government service commission, 1% to training school. Inside the same money, you pay parents.
1% to training school.
Training school.
Training school for
the states, for the local government.
Okay, for the local government, yes, for employees.
Yes, for the employee.
Okay.
So that's 11% already gone. Then you are paying teacher salary, which is far more than the council staff. Okay. But the primary school teachers are pressing the governor. If they queue up in front of the council to collect their salary, and people know we are the one paying salary, they will appreciate it. So by the time you take 28 million naira, they deduct it from source. They said Suprema has done the statistical data that is 28 million, for example, that is meant for primary school teacher salary, and they deduct it. So if I have 65 million naira and you take 28 million naira, what is left?
Like I rightly said.
So even when the money is going there, people don't know what is meant on specifically. It is when you have taken out those statutory things that the rest is available, that you can now think of how to run the office, impress, servicing car, and now capital project. And you have many communities.
And to our viewers, that is Kehinde Agbola, a former local government chairman, a former member of the National Assembly. You can see that at the tail end of it, he was getting agitated because he wanted to lay a point across. I'll tell you this, one program is not enough for us to educate Nigerians about what is happening at that level. We shall call you back again to make sure that we disseminate the right information to Nigerians so that they can understand what is happening. On this note, I would like to say one big thank you to my brother here, Kehinde Agbola. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your insights.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And to my sister out there.
Thank you.
Nigeria, well, Nigeria will be great again. That is our earnest prayer. On this note, I sign out.
Good. And to your viewers, thank you for being a part of it.